What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to My Chess Journey, episode number 30. In today's episode, we are going for 700 for the third time on this channel. So hopefully this time we can finally get the win, propel ourselves just over the 700 mark, and start progressing into that new field of opponents. But even if we don't get it, like we always say around here, win, lose, or draw, it's really just about trying to have some fun with chess and play some good chess. So without further ado, let's get on into it. See if we get white or black here, and we are getting white. So we will do what we normally do. I'm actually going to take. They just gave us a free pawn. This is an interesting situation. We're going to develop our knight here. Couldn't think of the name for a second there. This is a very interesting line. He goes there, we go there. Okay. I've never played this, so this guy is kind of throwing me off my game here, I'm not going to lie. This is quite the challenge, actually. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, so now we'll throw that up. Now we're kind of settling into a formation I feel more comfortable with. Yeah, we'll do this. Pin him to the king. And we'll see what he does here. Knight goes there. I don't know if that really matters. I think it's important to just develop. It's important to develop. I don't know what this knight on e7 is going to really do. I've never seen this before. I guess the better option would have actually been to just take with our pawn. That actually probably would have been a good move, yeah. That would have been a good move. We could try and save the bishop here. This is quite the weird formation. Quite the weird formation indeed. We really should push this bishop. Yeah, so he'll probably... He goes there, takes that, we take that. If he goes there, we can take back. I'm going to push this bishop here. Okay, take back with the pawn. Okay. And this gives us a free shot at the rook. So if we do that, he's going to go there. I'm going to go here. Because if he takes with the bishop, okay, I gotta think here now. If he checks me... I just gotta make sure... Yeah, we'll go here. To be fair, I didn't see that, but this will work. Because this traps... He can't go there. He can't bring the knight to this square. He can't bring it here. He can't bring it here, and he can't bring it... Well, he could bring it there, but we'll just take this. And we'll just move out of the way then. So... He'll probably do that. He'll probably bring the knight to G2 and check us. But then we can potentially swap or something. Yeah, so he's looking to trade queens right now. Trying to think here. Yeah, let's just do that. Trade out. Take the bishop. His other knight is still pinned. Like I said, he'll probably come here and check us. That's fine. We'll just move. What did he do? Oh, he swapped? Okay. He swapped. Alright, so we should probably just take this while we can. Did I move? I don't remember moving my king. That's the weird thing about this. I don't remember moving my king. So I don't understand why I can't flip him around here. So if we take this, he goes back, we take that, we take that. No, if we take the pawn, he jumps back, we take that, he takes with that, we take with that. I'm gonna go here, I think. Because that way it opens up our rooks to be able to move. I really should have gotten the bishop out of the way, but I'm kind of planning some other stuff. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Okay, so he checks us. And just take that. Alright, baby, we got this. This is in the books now. He just made this so much easier to beat him. There we go. We're finally in the 700s. Let's go. I don't know why that guy decided to take our bishop over trading queens, but I guess he figured because our king was sitting there, he wasn't going to do that. Yo, game review, baby. We are finally in the 700s. Let's go. Man, that was a weird game, too, because his first couple moves weren't what I'm used to seeing, kind of. but I was able to settle in, and then I don't know what he was doing with that queen move there, but yeah, we played with a 67.6% accuracy. They played with a 55.4% accuracy. Zero brilliant moves for either of us. We had 2 great moves. They had none. We had 5 best moves. They had 2. We did have 2 mistakes. They also had 2 mistakes. We had no misses. They had 1. We had no blunders. They had 1. We played like an 850. They played like a 300. So admittedly, not our best game. My opening percentage here is definitely down because I didn't understand what they were doing. They were playing with a 45% accuracy in the opening. Middle game is 76.2 accuracy for us. Theirs was 68. A lot of the games I've been playing recently, I've noticed that my middle game accuracy has actually gotten a lot better. Like, I've been getting scores in the 70s and 80s. So that's always nice to see. And, of course, our end game is solid. I'm not really ever worried about our end game, but luckily in this video we didn't have to take it that far. So with that being said, we'll break it down. So here, I'm not even used to this. This took me by surprise right off the bat, but it's always principled to take if you see something like that if you're playing Scandinavian defense. So I figured it's might as well take it, right? And then here, he does that. Again, that's a move I've never seen before. The computer wants him to move the other pawn. And here we're just bringing the knight forward to protect our pawn in case he wants to take. Then he develops the other knight. This I usually see kind of around this time. Usually what they do is they bring the G8 knight out to F6. That's usually what I see, but they were doing something different. So my thought process here, bringing the bishop out, was again to reinforce this pawn with him putting his knight there. Because if you wanted to bring, sorry about that, if you wanted to bring this C6 knight out to D4, our F3 knight would have been able to get him. And if you wanted to go to the other side, we would have figured something out, you know. So I wasn't really worried. I was just trying to build up defenses. Not sure what he's doing there again. He could have taken. Here, my thought process was I want to get this pawn out of the way so I can get my white squared knight in line with his light squared, or I'm sorry, my light squared bishop in line with his light squared knight to pin it to the king. Here, I don't know what he was trying to do. Maybe he was thinking I would screw up and move my knight and he would be able to take my queen. Not sure. So here we're pinning the knight like I talked about. This move that he made too with his other knight, not sure what this was all about, but that's a move I've never really seen either. Admittedly, this was where I wasn't sure if I should take or not. Hindsight, I kind of wish I did, because that would have put pressure on him to move, but it's always good, in my opinion. People always say it's good to develop, so that's why I wanted to bring out my other light squared knight. Again here, he could have taken, he didn't. This move did kind of catch me by surprise, so I'm happy that I did move back. I did think about taking, because if I took with this pawn, he would have taken my bishop. I would have taken his knight with my pawn. He probably would have retaliated with his queen, and then this pawn down here could have taken, his pawn that would have captured my dark squared bishop. So, yeah, kind of a weird set of exchanges here. And this I saw coming. He's only got a couple moves. He can't go here. He can't go here. He really can't go anywhere. So that's why I wasn't too worried. I'm just trying to reinforce, put some pressure on his bishop here. So he takes. We take back. Admittedly, after I took with the pawn, I thought, oh, that was kind of dumb. I should have taken with the queen, because that was my initial thought process early in the game, if he did take my knight, to just return with the queen, because it's never really a good idea to double up your pawns like this. But I figured he would probably take back, he'd probably take my bishop with his knight, and then I could just move my other pawn out of the way, but he didn't do that. So we decided to move up, force the advantage. Here, I get what he was trying to do. He wanted me to just trade pieces, but again, like I pointed out in the game, he left his rook wide open, so we snagged that and gave ourselves a great advantage right there. Here, he's just trying to pin the pawn to my king, and I brought the knight over to act as a threat to this bishop. Basically, that's all it was meant there for. This move caught me by surprise, because I was keeping this pawn for this bishop, and I did not want to lose my queen, so I spent about 30 seconds, a little more than 30 seconds, trying to figure out the best place to put my queen so that this knight on e3 would not be a threat. So we found a nice spot there to park it, and then we took that bishop promptly. Again, this whole time, this knight is just pinned to his king. Can't do anything with it. Here, I completely kind of forgot that my bishop was out here, so after he traded off his, after he castled with his king, I had to take advantage and get that knight while I could, giving up that bishop. And admittedly, like I did think about bringing my bishop down, my light squared bishop down to take this pawn on d5. He would probably recapture back with his knight, but I wanted to do some other stuff. So really, I saw the problem. Luckily, my opponent never saw it, where he could have brought his knight to g2 here and check me. So I just wanted to get that possible threat out of the way. The computer wanted me to move to the other side, but I didn't feel comfortable doing that because this pawn is coming down here, and that would have broken up this pawn chain that I have going on. So it is what it is. He checks me here. My initial thought was to actually move this pawn on c2 up, but then he would have taken the pawn on b2, and I wouldn't have had anything to really defend against that. Would have had to probably move my rook over, and then he would have taken the other pawn on a2. So there could have been some pawn trouble, so I thought my best bet. I did also think about protecting with my knight, but then I realized that he left the knight wide open, so took that with the king. Again, he brings this up. I take back with the queen, thinking that, hey, he'll want to do a trade-off here maybe. And if he did that, my thought process was actually going to be to take with the king. I completely forgot that I could take with my knight if I wanted to. But he didn't do that. He decided to finally take my light squared bishop with his pawn, and that was a huge blunder. So we took his queen, and that was the game. The other option, and I'm just seeing this right now, that we could have done too, is we could have also just taken his rook and checked the king at the same time, but it makes a lot more sense to just take the queen for free. So that's all I got for you guys for episode 30. We finally made it to the 700s. Third time was the charm. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time in episode 31, all right? You have a great rest of your day.